Chale, let's start with today's newspaper analysis. Can you all see the newspaper on your screen? Is it visible? Is newspaper visible to all of you on your screen?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Chale. I hope you people have read the last 4 to 5 days newspaper, which I have not taken, and read the relevant part and put it into the relevant topics of the GS paper 1 and 2. Now, yes, as we all know that the petition has been filed into the Supreme Court related to the EWS, that is economically weaker section के लिए रिजर्वेशन देना चाहिए या नहीं देना चाहिए, इसको लेकर एक पिटीशन फाइल किया गया है. So the proposal being discussed at the center, government is going to set up panel to study status of SC converts to Christianity and Islam. So those people who have converted from scheduled caste, those people who were converted from the Hindu to Christianity and Islam, and they will belong to the scheduled caste in India. उनका जो status है वो check किया जाएगा, and then the center is planning to check it out whether they should be given the reservation or not. So it comes in the wake of the petitions in the Supreme Court seeking Supreme Court reservation for these categories. मतलब जो SCs है, जो अनटचेबल्स है, जो दलित हैं, जो इस्लाम और क्रिश्चियनिटी में जो कन्वर्ट हुए हैं, उन्हें रिजर्वेशन नहीं मिलता है. तो अगर क्या इन्हें रिजर्वेशन देने की जरूरत है या नहीं है, ये कैसे चेक किया जाएगा? बाय चेकिंग देयर स्टेटस, लाइक देयर एजुकेशनल स्टेटस, their educational status, their economic status, and their social status. That is what is mentioned here. So in a move with far-reaching implication, the center is all set to constitute a national commission to study the social, economic, and educational status of the members of the scheduled caste or Dalits who converted to religion other than Hinduism, Buddhism, and Sikhism in the Indian Express has learned. तो अभी तक जो SC हैं, जो हिंदुइज्म में कन्वर्ट हुए या बुद्धिज्म में कन्वर्ट हुए हैं या सिखिज्म में कन्वर्ट हुए हैं, उन्हें ही रिजर्वेशन दिया जाता है. जो इस्लाम और क्रिश्चियन धर्म में कन्वर्ट हुए हैं, उन्हें रिजर्वेशन नहीं दिया जाता है. तो क्या उन्हें भी वापस से रिजर्वेशन देने की जरूरत है? इस चीज को सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट एक पैनल बनाएगा और उसको डिसाइड करेगा कि ये देना चाहिए नहीं देना चाहिए. Was there any question in this year's mains exam related to the same topic, Sagar? इस साल के मेंस एग्जाम में GS पेपर 2 में there was a similar question in the same topic. Anyone knows which the question has been asked in this year's mains exam? Mustafa, do you remember that? Hello, Mustafa, am I audible to you?
Yes, sir. देख रहा हूँ, please.
One second. GS पेपर 2 में आया हुआ है. With Sagar at shared. Just let me check it out.
The role of National Commission of Backward Classes in the wake of its transmission from a statutory body to constitution.
Right. So National Commission for Backward Class नाम का एक टॉपिक है, उसमें एक क्वेश्चन आया हुआ है. I think this is the question number
3 ओपन किया है.
sorry
हमने पेपर 3 ओपन किया है. GS पेपर 3, वो GS पेपर 2 में क्वेश्चन.
सर पेपर 3 है सर.
पेपर 3 है क्या? ओके. Have you sent पेपर 2 ऊपर है?
यस सर.
So I think this question is here, right?
This is the role of National Commission for Backward Classes in the wake of its transformation from a statutory body to constitution.
Yeah, one second. Let me show it to you. Why I am referring to the question paper, by just reading newspaper also you can write the answers of the mains exam. Many of the questions, like here you can see, the Gati Shakti Yojana needs meticulous coordination between the government and the private sector to achieve the goal of connectivity. So this was also there in the newspaper. Then transfer of the government delivery system to the DBT scheme is a progressive step, but it has its limitations too. DBT के क्या limitations है डायरेक्ट बेनिफिट ट्रांसफर के? इंडियन एक्सप्रेस में आर्टिकल आया था, याद है? डायरेक्ट बेनिफिट ट्रांसफर के कुछ इश्यूज थे, जैसे कि स्कॉलरशिप ट्रांसफर लेकर कुछ इश्यूज आए थे. जीन ड्रीज ने कुछ आर्टिकल लिखे हुए थे डीबीटी को लेकर कि क्या व्हाट आर द लिमिटेशंस ऑफ द डीबीटी. देन ये क्वेश्चन है, इंडिया इज अ एज ओल्ड फ्रेंड ऑफ श्रीलंका. डू यू रिमेंबर? I told you many times in the class like there will be 100% one question will be asked on the India-Sri Lanka bilateral relationship, that how discuss India's role in recent crisis in Sri Lanka in the light of President's statement, right? I have given a question as well, right? Sagar ने प्रश्न पण दिला होता कि on this particular issue, the same question, like discuss how India is helping the Sri Lanka in this crisis, right?
Yes, sir.
Now let me check it out. The questions related to the Supreme Court, sorry, SC Commission को लेकर या Backward Commission को लेकर एक क्वेश्चन था. Yes, discuss the role of National Commission for Backward Classes in the wake of its transformation from a statutory body to constitutional body. मतलब नेशनल कमीशन फॉर बैकवर्ड क्लास को क्या किया गया है, स्टैट्यूटरी बॉडी से कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल बॉडी में उसको क्या किया गया है, ट्रांसफॉर्म किया गया है. सो डिस्कस इट्स रोल. तो क्या रोल होगा नेशनल कमीशन फॉर बैकवर्ड क्लास का, क्या रोल होगा वो एक्सप्लेन किया है. सो टू राइट दिस आंसर यू नीड टू नो, लाइक स्टैट्यूटरी बॉडी को कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल बॉडी में अगर कन्वर्ट करते हैं तो उसका क्या मतलब होता है मुस्तफा? व्हाट इज द मीनिंग ऑफ कन्वर्टिंग अ स्टैट्यूटरी बॉडी इनटू कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल बॉडी? Yes, Mustafa, any idea?
Yes, sir. अगर कोई स्टैट्यूटरी बॉडी को कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल बॉडी में कन्वर्ट करते हैं तो जो भी कमीशन के जो भी प्रोविजन करते हैं गवर्नमेंट को बाइंडिंग होता है सर उसे इंप्लीमेंट कराना.
ठीक है, we will discuss it later. But anyways, coming back to the newspaper. So in the wake of this, Supreme Court अभी already people were demanding कि रिजर्वेशन को खत्म करना चाहिए. अभी एससी और एसटी का जो स्टेटस है, इकोनॉमिक, एजुकेशनल और सोशल स्टेटस अभी इक्विवेलेंट टू ओपन कैटेगरी हो गया है. रिजर्वेशन को खत्म करना चाहिए, ऐसी डिमांड चल रही थी. लेकिन यहाँ पर तो सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट इज थिंकिंग टू गिव रिजर्वेशन टू दोस पीपल हु हैव बीन कन्वर्टेड फ्रॉम Hinduism to Sikhism and Christianity and Islam again. So the proposal to set up such a commission is being actively discussed at the center, and its decision is likely to be taken soon. That is what it is launched. Sources in the Ministry of the Minority Affairs and the Department of the Personnel, that is DOPT, said they have been given the green signal for such a move. It is learned that consultations on the proposal are currently ongoing among the Ministries of Home, Law, Social Justice, Empowerment and Finance. The move to set up such a commission assumes significance in the wake of several petitions pending before the Supreme Court seeking Supreme Court reservation benefits for Dalits who are converted to Christianity to Islam. So whatever Constitution talks about this particular the reservation issue, that is also explained here. The Constitution, that is Scheduled Caste Order 1950, under Article 350(41) stipulates that no person professing a religion different from Hinduism, Sikhism and Buddhism can be deemed to be a member of the scheduled caste. The original order, under which only Hindus were classified as a scheduled caste, was amended in 1956, includes Sikhs, and in 1990 to cover Buddhists. So on August 30, Solicitor General Tushar Mehta informed the Supreme Court bench, headed by Justice Sanjay Kishan Kaul, and also comprising Justice S. Oka and Vikram Nath, that he will place on record the government's stand on the issue raised by the petitioners. The bench granted the Solicitor General 3 weeks time and listed the matter on October 11. So Solicitor General submits that he would like to place on record the current position and stand on the issue in the question which deals with the prayer for extension of the claim of reservation from Dalit communities to other religions other than the specified. That is what is mentioned. So a petition was filed into the Supreme Court to give reservation for those SCs who have been converted to Christianity and Islam. तो इसमें गवर्नमेंट का क्या स्टैंड है, क्या पोजीशन है, वो सुप्रीम कोर्ट में सॉलिसिटर जनरल बताएगा. Right? So how many of you think that the SCs who have been converted to Christianity and Islam, they should also be given the reservation or not? देना चाहिए, नहीं देना चाहिए? सागर, yes, Sagar, any opinion of you? Chale, now right hand side there is one more question, that center and state tussle over a centralized market for electricity. So central government और state government के बीच में tussle हो रहा है over a centralized market for electricity. Was there any question on this topic as well in the CS mains exam? Center state relation. सेंटर स्टेट रिलेशन को लेकर भी क्वेश्चन आया था इस साल की मेंस एग्जाम में. सो व्हाट वाज दैट क्वेश्चन? लेट्स सी. सेंटर स्टेट रिलेशन में जो क्लैशेस हो रहे हैं उनको लेकर भी क्वेश्चन मेंस एग्जाम में पूछा जाता है. जीएस पेपर 2 देयर इज वन टॉपिक कॉल्ड devolution of power and finances up to the local level. So यहाँ पर एक क्वेश्चन है. Yes, while the national politics parties in favor of centralization and the regional parties are in favor of state autonomy. Right? क्या है टॉपिक? क्या है? While the national political parties like BJP, Congress, these are the national political parties, right? So they are in favor of centralization of the power, while the regional parties like ACR or YSR Congress or Trinamool Congress, all these like Shiv Sena, all these regional parties are in favor of state autonomy. State को ज़्यादा power देना चाहिए, ऐसे उनका कहना है. So you have to comment on this statement. So this is a fine example of, you can see the fine example of the center state clashes. So this article here you can see what mentioned that the center and state government tussle over the centralized market for electricity. Electricity का जो market है वो centralized होना चाहिए. That's what is mentioned here. So a fresh slugfest between the center and the state is brewing in the country's power sector. The trigger being a plan by the union government to jettison the existing decentralized voluntary pool-based electricity market in favor of radically different mandatory pool model on pan-India basis. मतलब फिलहाल का जो electricity market है वो decentralized किया गया. State governments are also given the right to decide about the prices. अब मुझे ये बताइए कि जो स्टेट गवर्नमेंट है, जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल दिल्ली गवर्नमेंट है या पंजाब गवर्नमेंट है, they are giving free electricity to the people, right? So that is why the central government want that electricity का जो मार्केट है, इलेक्ट्रिसिटी के जो प्राइसेस है, इलेक्ट्रिसिटी के जो यूनिट्स है, वो सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट करना चाहिए. इस ऐसा प्रपोजल सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट कर रहा है, which is opposed by the state government. Got it? समझ में आ गया मुस्तफा? What is this tussle all about? वही जो क्वेश्चन आया था, that why the national political parties are in favor of the centralization of the power, while the regional political parties are in favor of decentralization of the power. Got it, Sagar? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
तो यहाँ पर यही है, देखो, centralized versus the decentralized power model. तो ये आर्टिकल, इस तरीके के आर्टिकल पढ़ने से आंसर मिल जाते हैं. That is what is mentioned here. The new model proposed a centralized scheduling of the power dispatches both interstate and intrastate. This, experts say, will impinge on the relative autonomy of the states in managing their electricity sector, including their own generating stations, and make the DISCOMs entirely dependent on the centralized mechanism. Clear? Yes, Mustafa, you have raised hand.
क्वेश्चन में कमेंट पूछा था. क्वेश्चन के अंदर कमेंट करो बोल के पूछा था, वो बोला था.
हाँ,
कौन कितना है या उसके ऊपर?
तुम्हारी आवाज सुनाई नहीं दे रही मुस्तफा. चेक योर माइक, योर माइक इज नॉट प्रॉपर. जोर से बोलिए थोड़ा. हेलो
सर, क्वेश्चन कमेंट रिटर्न होता है.
कमेंट्स प्रोज एंड कॉन्स लिखना है या सिर्फ कमेंट करना है सर? मतलब
कमेंट करना है. क्या लगता है गवर्नमेंट को ऑटोनॉमी देना चाहिए या सेंट्रलाइज करना चाहिए पावर को? रीजनल पार्टीज आर इन फेवर ऑफ डिसेंट्रलाइजेशन ऑफ पावर. आपको अपना एक कमेंट देना है. Got it? In comment you can give your own opinion. You have to give your own opinion. चलिए, let's move to the next page. तो समझ में आ गया? इस तरीके के जो क्वेश्चन के जो आंसर है वो आप न्यूज़पेपर पढ़ के ही सॉल्व कर सकते हो. Kejriwal aims sky high. He says that God created Aam Aadmi Party to get rid from the evils. That's what the Arvind Kejriwal is saying. He's saying that the God has created Aam Aadmi Party. Like Vishnu arises whenever there is problem in the society. Vishnu takes avatar and he protects the people from the evils. So that's what he said. So just read this article. Of course, these all are the political gimmicks. Now let's move on to the next page. Our President Murmu has offered a tribute to the Queen Elizabeth, who has died. Now let's move on to the next page. To curb the use of chemical fertilizers, as we all know, there are some distortions, there are certain drawbacks, there are certain ecological issues associated with the use of chemical fertilizers in India. We've seen the NPK ratio has been distorted, especially in the states of Punjab, Haryana, UP, where Green Revolution was in place. तो वहां पे ये लिखा हुआ है कि to curb the use of the chemical fertilizer, the government is going to give nod to PM Pranam. GS paper 2 में topic है interventions and various policies of the government in various sector. तो ये agricultural sector, fertilizer sector में government ये intervention कर रहा है. Government is going to start a new plan, new scheme that is called PM Pranam. So Prime Minister Pranam Yojana. क्या है ये Prime Minister Pranam Yojana? This scheme is for curbing the use of chemical fertilizers. Chemical fertilizers का इस्तेमाल कम करने के लिए इस स्कीम को शुरू किया गया है. So why there is spike in the chemical fertilizer requirement? अभी हमने देखा कि पिछले कुछ दिनों से chemical fertilizer की requirement में क्या हुआ है, बढ़ोतरी हुई है. इंडिया फर्टिलाइजर को इंपोर्ट करता है या इंडिया सेल्फ सफिशिएंट है in terms of fertilizer?
इंपोर्ट करता है सर, इंपोर्ट.
Yes, Sagar, is India self-sufficient in terms of fertilizer production as per the demand, or we do import the fertilizers?
We import the fertilizer, sir.
Right. So that is what is mentioned here, that the union government intends to launch a scheme named PM Pranam to reduce the use of chemical fertilizer by incentivizing the state. So the proposed scheme, which is a short form of PM Promotion of Alternative Nutrients for Agricultural Management Yojana. So what is this name? Promotion of alternative nutrients. Rather than using the chemical fertilizers, alternative nutrients should be used and it will be promoted for Agricultural Management Yojana. Also aims, let's see what it is. It also aims to bring down the subsidy burden on chemical fertilizer. Do you remember in government budget class I always say that the largest non-planned expenditure of the government is the expenditure on subsidy, and within subsidy the largest subsidy, मतलब सबसे ज्यादा subsidy किस चीज के लिए दी जाती है? Fertilizer को दी जाती है, right? So that is what is mentioned here. This scheme can also help the government to bring down the subsidy burden on the chemical fertilizers. So subsidy on fertilizer, is it a planned expenditure or non-planned expenditure?
Non-planned expenditure, sir.
It is a non-planned expenditure, right? So that is what is explained here. This is a non-planned expenditure. So to bring down the subsidy burden on chemical fertilizers, which is estimated to reach around 2.25 lakh crore in 2023. So 2.25 lakh crore का subsidy government देता है. So that is what is mentioned here. So it assumes the significance in a view of the sharp increase in the overall fertilizer requirement in the country during the last 5 years. It is learned that the top officials of the Union Ministry of Chemicals and Fertilizers, which has mooted the idea of PM Pranam, shared the details of the proposal scheme with state government officials during the National Conference on Agriculture for Rabi campaign. The ministry has also sought their suggestions on the features of the proposed scheme. So this proposed scheme has been shared with the state government, and they have asked, they were asking some suggestions from them. So also said the ministry has initiated the inter-ministerial discussion on the proposed scheme and that its draft will be finalized after incorporating the views of the department concerned. So just read this article that why this subsidy and why this alternative nutrients are being are being promoted by the union government. So that is what is mentioned here. Giving an example of the calculation in reducing the chemical fertilizer use, associate that a state's increase or reduction in the urea in year will be compared to its average consumption of the urea during the last 3 years. So this is as per the जो criteria है उसको लेकर किया गया है. But anyways, you need to know that government alternative nutrients को promote करने के लिए कौन सा scheme शुरू किया है. Prelims exam में question पूछा जा सकता है. Which among the following scheme has been started by the or will be started by the government to reduce the use of chemical fertilizer? So answer will be PM Pranam. So what are the alternative nutrients? आज आप जाकर देखोगे कि एग्रीकल्चर में केमिकल न्यूट्रिएंट्स को केमिकल फर्टिलाइजर्स के लिए अल्टरनेटिव न्यूट्रिएंट्स क्या है वो चेक करना है. Will you do that, Srishti and Shivani? That what are the alternative nutrients? You will also write it down and check it out today. That what are the alternative nutrients are available for the chemical fertilizers in India, and what are the drawbacks to discuss in detail in the environment and ecosystem topic, but आज आपको भी जाकर देखना है. समझ में आ रहा है? चलिए, now let's move to the next page. So with 446 elected representatives from 20 states, Aam Aadmi Party flexes its muscles and sends out expansion message. So Aam Aadmi Party is trying to expand India. That's what you can see. In the last few days, Aam Aadmi Party has become so active that it is trying to expand its base from Delhi to Punjab to other states. So Delhi UP Assembly has set aside 1 day for women MLAs to speak out about the gender centric issue जो है Hello, sorry, am I audible to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, sorry, there was a network issue. So we have seen that recently on the birthday of our Honorable Prime Minister and beloved Prime Minister Narendra Modi, 4 cheetahs have been brought back from Africa to India to relocate and rehabilitate it. So India was once a place for the cheetahs in the world, but the Indian cheetah have been, and they have become the extinct. So to increase the population of the cheetahs in India, some 4 cheetahs have been reintroduced in India. Anyone knows in which national park these cheetahs have been reintroduced? Sagar?
Kuno National Park.
Kuno National Park, that is in Madhya Pradesh. So a day after being released in Kuno National Park, one of the 8 cheetahs have been brought, drinks water from a container on Sunday. Forest officials described it as the start of their habitation in the park. So they have started drinking the water now. Of course, it will take some time for them to adjust to the climate, the environment, the ecosystem in the Kuno National Park. There was one question asked in 2000, I think 19 or 18 prelims exam. Similar such question has been asked that in which among the following national park the Asiatic lions from the Gir National Park have been translocated. ऐसे question पूछा गया था, and at that time also the answer was Kuno National Park only, because Kuno National Park is one of the ideal national park for rehabilitation of the animals like Asiatic lion, tiger, or cheetahs, etc. Anyone knows Kuno National Park is located in which state? Shivani, any idea?
So it
That
is
in
on
which state the Kuno National Park is located?
Madhya Pradesh.
वेरी गुड. सो इंडिया में बहुत सारे ऐसे नेशनल पार्क हैं. सारे नेशनल पार्क का अपना एक अलग अलग इंपॉर्टेंस है, वो आपको देखना है. नाउ लेट्स मूव टू द नेक्स्ट पेज. I'll directly go to the today's editorial page is related to the Samarkand SCO meet GS paper 2 last topic है bilateral global groupings and its impact on India's interest. तो SCO क्या है आपको देखना है. SCO से रिलेटेड प्रीलिम्स एग्जाम में क्वेश्चन भी आया था. Which among the following are not the members of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization? क्वेश्चन आया था. Do you remember Mustafa this question which was asked in this year's prelims exam? Right. So Samarkand में SCO की मीटिंग हुई है. So SCO meet highlighted the flux in Eurasia. As forum's chair, Delhi should push new connectivity initiative within the region. So now India is going to the chairperson of this SCO for this year now. As the chairman of this forum, Delhi should push new connectivity initiative within the region. So India को इस region में Shanghai Cooperation Organization region में especially Eurasia region में, that is Central Asia region में इंडिया की कनेक्टिविटी बढ़ाने के लिए नया पुश करना चाहिए. That is what is mentioned here. So just read this article to understand that why there is need to have a connectivity of India to the Central Asian countries. India को Central Asian countries के साथ में proper connectivity की जरूरत क्या है? What interest of India lies in having a new connectivity in the Central Asian region? So just read this whole article, cut this article and put it into GS paper 2. Last topic है forum, various forums. एक topic है like bilateral, regional, global grouping and various forums in the international level. So SCO is one such forum. जिसका India is going to be a chairman for this year. So what is the significance of India being a chairman of SCO and why India needs to push, more connectivity to the Central Asian countries? That is what is explained here, especially in the Eurasia. Now next is the cheetah movement. The animals come back to India has led to the important debates. Policymakers must use this to reflect on long-standing issues. GS paper 3 में topic है, that is conservation of biodiversity. Cheetah is of course one such animal which has been brought by India from Africa, and this has been brought to India. This is the number in India as well. But the policymakers are having certain issues related to this. There are some environmentalists feel that this is going to create some new challenges. This is going to create some new problems. इससे पहले भी हमने देखा था कि कोई एलियन स्पीसीज अगर इंट्रोड्यूस किया जाता है और उसके अकॉर्डिंगली वहां पर अगर प्रे वहां पर अवेलेबल नहीं होते हैं तो उनकी संख्या बढ़ जाती है. उससे और दूसरे इकोलॉजिकल प्रॉब्लम हो सकते हैं. जैसे कि रैबिट को इंट्रोड्यूस किया गया था कहां पर, ऑस्ट्रेलिया में. तो रैबिट हैज बिकम अ इन्वेजिव स्पीसीज इन अफ्रीका, राइट, सॉरी इन ऑस्ट्रेलिया. सिमिलरली कुछ कंसर्न्स होते हैं, कुछ इश्यूज होते हैं while introducing such animals. So that is what is explained here. The animals come back to India has led to some important debates. Policy makers must use this to reflect the long-standing issues. So what are those long-standing issues in India related to the conservation of biodiversity? Now tell me, introducing these 8 cheetahs in India, is it a in situ conservation or ex situ conservation?
In situ.
Yes.
In situ.
इन सिटू या एक्स सिटू है. लास्ट पैराग्राफ में यही लिखा है, देखो जो मैंने बताया तो वही लिखा है. Kuno was originally earmarked for relocating lions from the Gir forest, but even as the Gujarat PA faces constant pressure on carrying its capacity, the state has ostensibly refused to relinquish its status as the Asiatic lion sole habitat. So experts also say that the confining the animals in one PA increases its vulnerability in epidemic. So wildlife protection must not be hostage of unscientific attitudes. The introduction of the cheetah is a moment that must be seized upon by policymakers to evolve solution to such a long-standing issue. So what are those long-standing issues? That is what is explained in the second paragraph. इस तरीके से plants animals को introduce करने से क्या issues बन सकते हैं in that national park, that is what is explained in this second paragraph. So to understand this particular topic, you need to study the basics of ecosystem and ecology. तो जब मैं basics of ecosystem और ecology को discuss करूंगा तो उससे मैं आपको समझ में आ जाएगा कि exactly चीता को इंडिया में इंट्रोड्यूस करने से क्या ecological या environmental problem arise हो सकते हैं. Now let's go on to the next page. It is related to the Bengaluru. As we have seen recently, there was flooding in Bengaluru. Problems of urbanization and their remedies. Center versus state and versus state. तो ये वही है जो recently article क्वेश्चन पूछा गया है. Central government versus state government. Autonomy of the state government compared to the union government. So let's just read this article. Prime Minister Narendra Modi is a people's leader, as per Nrpendra Mishra, who was principal secretary to the Prime Minister few days back. So he's saying that through his conduct, Prime Minister Modi has become one with the masses and he has become the people's leader. So that has been written in the context of his birthday yesterday. Now let's go on to the next page. I'll directly go to the today's economic page, and that's what I am trying to finish it quickly. The benefits of the stockpiling, accumulating large reserve of the foreign exchange would has helped in these difficult times. So stockpiling has a cost, but that's like spending on defense or standing army. Utility has proven only in the times of economic crisis. मतलब hoarding जो किया जाता है foreign exchange का और food का, वो हमें economic crisis के situation में हमें वो मदद करता है, वो कारगर होता है. Just read this article about Harish Davgaran, what he has written about that how foreign exchange का stockpiling जो किया गया था, जब food grain को जो stockpiling किया गया था उसको लेकर एक article लिखा हुआ है. Very good article. Now let's go on to the next page. Essential medicine list, ensuring supply and keeping price in check. Essential जो medicine है उसका supply और उसके prices को control में रखने की जरूरत है. That is what is explained in this page. So read this article to understand that why it is important to ensure that supply and keeping prices in check of the essential commodities is very important. Higher advance payment raises direct tax markup by 30%. Direct tax जो है वो बढ़ गया. आज गवर्नमेंट बजट का टॉपिक में शुरू करने वाला हूँ. There I will be discussing with you what are direct taxes, what are indirect taxes. You can come to know. Yes, now dispute settlement mechanism है. So WTO's dispute settlement reforms and reforms has called for USTR has called for meet. So that is what is explained here. So what is WTO? How the WTO dispute settlement reforms are discussed. That's what we'll discuss in the basics of Indian economic class. And so this is all there in the today's newspaper. We will stop it here now. We will continue in the evening as per our regular plan.
Okay.